every hip hop crew has one of those guys in their entourage.
Well, I found him.
You need
That chair.
What you need is
Right there.
It's called the fall guy.
I carry
You
a
need
Glock
the guy
17.
that's willing to pop off for you. Yeah,
Not
so
to
you
your
can get
house,
out
though.
of there.
Because I feel safe here.
Oh, you should, as you should.
Every joke
no
I told,
getting
I looked
away.
at this dude.
Yeah.
I tell a joke and I look at him like, "Are you gonna fight?"
Nelson,
Nelson
Nelson
in the
and
chair.
Are you gonna react? Are you gonna
Are you
react?
still in the chair?
Stone cold.
I made him smile a couple times. I guess I'll live.
bring Pernille.
He likes it. That's all you're gonna get. You know what's funny though? For me and
He
my
smiled. He made eye contact with me and smiled. So I
Me
guess
and
that's
my
a win.
brother
That can mean
growing
two
up.
things. You might be his fruit salad.
Ah, shit.
Me and my brother
Speaking
growing
of
up,
fruit salad.
our father was that way. He never smiled. You can sit down and watch a Jim Carrey movie from start to finish, and if you got like a, you're like, holy shit, he liked this movie. Now you couldn't tell, like he's older, like, but there was a
was
generation
smiling
of
just
men
before.
where, when you laughed,
Dude, my father just told me he loved me Friday night, the first time ever.
that's what I'm
First time
saying.
ever?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
How old are you?
42.
Yeah,
Damn.
like when my father
Twice
like
a century. That's
Like
not bad.
real, and meant it.
Yeah.
But I think
Damn.
he was scared.
I feel like there's another story.
Were you cleaning your guns on the kitchen
No,
table
man.
when he said I love you?
I was pulling a brand new street bike out of the house. Yeah.
Yo, you know what? Let's start the podcast. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your hosts, Nelson
Hi, Ian.
And Grant.
and Grant. Grant is going to be joining us. We actually have our very first, I guess you could call it, internship for the Sofa Kingdom podcast.
I'm just here for the food.
Which, by the way, 90% of it he can't eat.
That's true.
He's like, I'm here for the aesthetic of
My
food.
colon will fall out.
Yeah.
I think as you get older, we all have certain different ailments when it comes to food, except for Eddie. Eddie's got a fucking iron stomach.
I've been
I don't
pretty
know
solid
what the
so far.
fuck.
This has been since
Are you that way too, Ian? Like you can pretty much eat anything you want?
For the most part, yeah. But the older I get, I have not been tolerating the spicy food I love so much as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a disaster the other day.
Yeah, no, spicy food for me, when I was, I loved it as a kid. Loved it. And then, like, the older I got, I was just like, fuck, I don't know, like, what, like, you eat spicy food on a regular basis.
I used to be able to eat, like, fucking the hottest wings you could think of, just be able to tolerate it. Now, like, the other night, I, like, went out just slamming micheladas, had some menudo, and then, like, I went to bed after being drunk.
Yeah.
Woke up and had, like, a fruit smoothie in the morning, and they all, like, joined forces.
That's tomato sauce
Oh, fuck,
destroys
dude.
me.
I was
Destroys me.
I was on the toilet for like fucking 25 minutes. My girlfriend's texting
Like a
me, "Are you
super
okay
soaker.
in there?" I'm like, not really,
Like, I am writing a novel right now.
because it comes out as hot as it went in. So like, you just like coat your asshole in this lava, and you're just dying. You're just dying. You're sitting in there praying to a God that you hope notices you.
And she thinks you're looking at memes on.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm in there yerking off.
You know what's the worst is, like, when you're so sick that you're on the bathroom floor, no shirt on, just like just laying there, just like you don't give a fuck about anything that's happened in that bathroom prior to this. You're a tile floor. You just need the coldness of the tile, and you're just laying there praying to God, like,
It's
I won't
better
do
when
it
it's
again.
one end though.
Yes. Oh yeah.
When it's
it's
both
not,
ends, you gotta you have strategy. Like you have food poisoning, you gotta shit first, flush, then wait. Hopefully the cloud of
Get the
water
shower
out of there,
warmed up.
then turn around and throw up. It's awful. We know it.
Yeah, that's
Because you
that's
can't
rough.
throw up first. Because if
No.
you throw up first and you got to shit, you're gonna shit your pants. There's
Yeah.
no way you're gonna keep that in. It's not gonna
man.
happen.
Yeah, that's,
Warm in the
that's not a good
shower.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Set that bitch on power wash.
Yeah, that's when you wish you had baby wipes. I told you. Told you.
You
It
just,
all comes back to the baby
just
wipes.
put on some Depends and just be all right. I'll worry about one end first.
I quit.
Angels falling from the sky with baby wipes.
That's right. That's right.
So that's a nice, clean way to start the podcast.
Hey, if you're listening at home and you're gonna say you never shit yourself, you're a liar.
Yeah.
So, that's on you.
When I was in the service, there was a drill sergeant Bias, who actually had a conversation with us about sniper school. And he's like, there's a portion of sniper school where they tell you have to stay in this spot, cannot move, let's say 3 days. So whatever you have on you, whatever you brought is yours. You're in this area, you're covered in camo, leaves and shit. And the whole idea is that you're waiting for your target. You have to take them out, simulation style, but you can't move. You're here, and he's like, you do everything on yourself at that point. Your objective is kill your target.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, piss, eat, sleep. You're there in that spot.
Yep.
Which is also why most women are not allowed to participate in those roles because, they're more prone to infections and things
UTI.
than men are. So that's why they really typically don't want women in those roles, whereas like men can kind of be in their own filth a little bit longer.
I shit myself right now. You guys can't.
I'd prefer if you
guys don't even
didn't. But, interesting stories like that, like that you don't really think about. You're like, the glory of being a sniper. Well, sometimes it's not so fucking glorious,
Yeah.
There's a lot that you have to deal with.
Fun note on that, though. A lot of the world's top assassins are women, though, because they have the ability to get close to the world's most powerful people,
Sure.
which happen to be men.
It makes sense. You ever see that show La Femme Nikita?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, now there was two versions of it.
the movie.
the cartoon.
There was
right?
the movie, right? I
And
think
there
that
was
was
the
like,
USA show.
there was the USA show, which was fantastic. Like, I legitimately believe that tall European woman could kick the shit out of most
She sold
men.
it. She actually did
She
sell
did.
it. Yeah.
They did a reboot with this very tiny Asian lady. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Much harder sale.
There's no
and then,
fucking
and then
way.
her partner was essentially an even smaller lady, I
Yeah.
believe, wasn't it? It was like,
Yeah.
this is like 100-pound. We gotten down to like 100-pound. This is
Yeah.
a really hard
I
sell.
haven't believed a woman could whoop my ass in Xena Warrior Princess.
Xena, she sold it, man. Yeah, she
Lucy
did.
Lawless is big ass.
Was it the yell
Running
for you,
around.
though? Oh, man, it was the yell.
Throwing that fucking ring. I was like, bro, she could fuck me up anytime.
No, it's
And whoever her little friend was.
Now that's why Gina Carano worked in Star Wars. You're like, oh yeah, that's a soldier.
Oh, yes.
she was definitely believable
And
to
when she
whoop
stopped
that
cutting
ass.
weight for MMA, she fucking got solid. Like
Yeah.
Gina Carano in The Mandalorian is like a $190, like run through your ass. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
powerful woman.
I could definitely see
I
her.
believe she could fucking
At
throw
least,
some leather.
and if we had to pick on this chair here, Gina Carano could definitely fuck up Grant.
She'll fuck me up.
She
I'll
would
let
fuck
her.
him up.
I got a story about that.
That sounds good.
So when I was a kid, I must have been like 11 years old, and there was this chick. She was probably, I think, a year or two older than me, but she took self-defense, and I didn't. I was a little street rat running around
Right.
skateboarding, mountain biking. Well, I was roasting this chick, leaning up against the bumper of a car, thinking I was the shit, but I kind of was flirting with her, and she didn't like it.
But
or
she didn't know you were flirting.
because that's I flirt like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, she swept the legs out from underneath me and started trying to jack me up, and I rolled under the car. I was like, "No, bitch, please, no." Yeah, that was rough, man. That was rough.
Hiding under the car, damn.
Yeah, but she was tall, man.
I had-
climbed her like a swing set.
I had one incident where I was definitely in fear of my life of a girl. It was in junior high school, high school. And I pulled up to her house. I'm in my car. I got the door open, and she found out that I was there to dump her for her friend. And
That's going to go well.
so she came out the house looking all normal, and then she walks over to a pile of cinder blocks off to the right.
Wait,
always a
Oh
good
yeah,
setup.
I'm in Pennsylvania, and her
Did she start talking to you?
driveway is uphill.
Did she start talking to you, asking you,
She's
does
like,
Rose
"Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
do
yeah,
this
no,
to
no."
you dirty? Does
No,
Rose gotta get up on
Once
your
her
ass?
hands were on the cinder blocks, it was just yelling and screaming. Couldn't make it out. And I'm just thinking to myself, I got to get out of this fucking driveway. And it's a steep hill this way.
I mean-
door's still open. I'm driving down in reverse. She's running with a fucking cinder block.
If you got a cinder block, you're going to do some damage.
Yeah.
Like, if you pick up a cinder block, you're either going to kill somebody or do something.
I just got out of there.
It's not even a brick. It's the evolved form of a brick.
Oh yeah, I just got out of there with zero damage to my car and to myself. But I was like, I am never driving down this road again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those cobblestone streets are still holding up in the UK.
Yeah. I assumed that they would. They're
Well,
they're
they
pretty good.
They provide an endless supply of weapons for street fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pull one out of the road. Pull a loose one out. There you go.
Have you ever had a woman so angry at you that they threaten you with bodily damage?
There's a girl in my neighborhood that was older than all of us, and everybody thought she was hot. She was hot. Heather. and she would beat the fuck out of all of us, and it was weird because like most of the guys in the neighborhood were guys, like you know what I mean. So like this girl is like 3-4 years older than us, and we're all little kids. We're
Right.
like 11, 12, but everybody's got a crush on Heather. So like Valentine's Day, like her fucking mailbox is overflowing with gifts from all the neighbor guys. But she would also fuck us up. Like she would do like baton twirling. We'd go watch her. I didn't give a fuck. I was 11 or 12. I didn't give a shit about what baton twirling was. But I would sit and watch in her like studio on her property, her do this routine and teach all these other little girls. And then, like, you know, she beat my ass and shit. Like, you know, that was great. But then, you know, eventually I grew up, I got older, and I think in my mid-20s I ended up banging her. So it worked out for me. I caught up to you, Heather. But
Listen, you put in the time, you put in the work,
That's
you
how
watch
diamonds
the
are made.
baton twirling.
That's how diamonds are made. Time and pressure. You can accomplish anything.
Yeah, man, you cultivated a good friendship there, a little trust,
right.
and then when you got old enough, bada boom.
So thanks for the memories, Heather, wherever you're, if you're listening.
So I will say this, as far as like,
She's my Facebook friend. She'll probably see this.
I started watching a show that I know Ian definitely is not going to watch, but I'm not mad
you guys
at
can
it.
talk.
I am not. I don't know. Did you watch it at all yet or no?
I haven't started it yet. I've been really doing more gaming right now than anything. But earlier today, I turned back on Rebel Moon.
And you finished it.
Why?
Almost. I had to start setting up for the pot.
Why would you do that to yourself?
There's a lot of wide as I'm watching it.
It's like watching the train wreck.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Some parts of it are just like there's a lot of potential, but a lot of it is just really so rough. Like
So
some of
much
the
missed opportunity.
Rushed. It felt rushed.
some of the acting, I'm like, are they in the same fucking movie?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Even the way that they picked up their whole team, where it's just like, we're going to planet, get another person. Go on to planet, get
Rinse,
another
repeat,
person.
rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
It was
Yeah.
kind of shit. It was kind of shit. Like, especially if you're going to try to tell like an epic, there could have been better ways of getting characters onto the team. Or you know what? You make one stop with the planet. He's like, look, I've already got a team. You go there and then you fucking work from there.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need all of that. They've got to prove themselves.
If it was a video game, I would have turned it off.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't interesting. It wasn't interesting. It just...
So, Echo is the show I was talking about. It's on Disney and Hulu at the same time, actually.
It's Disney's first, or Disney Plus's first
Spotlight.
TVMA
Yes.
show.
And I think there was rumors that there was a lot of reshoots and things like that. And you could see it there. But what the end product was actually pretty good. It was a more serious tone. It was heavily based in Native American lore. So there were a lot of recognizable faces from
Was there a
reservation
Wendigo?
dogs. There was not, but there was some pretty good told Indian folklore in this story, and the way that they drove it home. The actor, of course, Kingpin is like the saving grace villain. He's a fantastic actor, great villain in the show. But the show just generally wasn't bad. Like it was like a solid 7. It was a good watch. If you like Marvel, if you like cultural kind of TV shows like thrown in there as well, it was dope. It was dope. It was a good watch. Nothing great. But I like what they did with it. It was a street level hero fighting off street level villains, and it didn't tie into the rest of the world. It was just like, here's a story, 5 episodes, and done.
2 reasons I'll probably never see it. 1, I'm continuing my war against Disney. Not paying for Disney Plus. Sorry.
It's on Hulu.
Nope.
It's on Hulu.
Fuck, I did.
It was just acquired by Disney, by
just
the
have
way.
Spotify. I just have
Yeah.
Spotify. But I'm probably not going to watch it because of that. And also, I just don't.
It's
I'm not
your
going to
cup
get my
of tea.
ass whooped by a deaf chick, and I don't
Yeah.
think anyone else in the Marvel
Well, she's
universe
not only
does.
deaf, she has one leg.
Get the fuck real. What are we doing? What are we doing here? How dangerous is she as a villain?
She was actually, to me, better as a villain. I liked her as a villain, and I was hoping that the story, because it was leaning that way, would bring her back to villain at the end, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, you don't have to always tell a hero story, or you don't have to tell a story of redemption. I'm okay with having a mixed bag of things. You know
She's
what I mean?
deaf and has one leg.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when they've showed her previously, they've kind of hinted she's got like
Is it a
Punisher
robot leg?
vibes.
Daredevil-esque powers, where it's heightened senses out of the senses that are left over.
Right, like Daredevil lost his sight and he developed these other.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they're very much leaning on that kind of thing, and I think that's what the character. I don't think the character
No,
had
so-
any super powers.
So what
or
happens is
anything like
this.
that.
When she goes back to her native land, and this isn't too much of a spoiler about the show, she's able to tap into her ancestors. So her power is stemmed from all
Alcoholism.
of the
Fire water.
all of the generations before her.
We're just kidding.
So like you know,
Smallpox.
she can tap into, and not only that, she can control people with the embodiment of her ancestors. So if she has other people in the room with her, she can channel the ancestors into other people. Fuck you guys. You're trying so hard. You're trying so hard.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing this like one-legged deaf chick who fights drunk. Maybe I will
kills
get
it with a blanket.
Maybe I will get Disney Plus. That sounds fucking awesome.
Who's the chick from the comics that had like a machine gun arm or something like that? I forgot her name.
Oh,
Marvel?
Yeah, I think
no.
it might have been Marvel.
No, I
or
think it was
DC.
an independent. It was the
There was
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. There you go.
Tank
Okay.
Girl. Yeah.
There was Witchblade, but she had all kinds of crazy shit. She had
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
weird ass.
There's always those post-apocalyptic superheroes or heroines, with like a body like bazooka on their fucking leg.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
that
It's like South Park.
that Death Rush or whatever. Death
Wish.
That movie, that horror movie, Planet Terror or whatever. It was
Yeah,
like
that god awful shit show
The
of
zombie
a
one.
set of movies.
the
Yeah,
zombie
yeah,
one,
yeah. We know what you're talking
The chick
about.
had a machine gun leg. And
Yeah.
She was like jumping and spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was Rose McGowan. She was hot.
She's still the palest actress to date, I would have to say, right? Rose
one of
McGowan.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powder.
Yeah.
She
Her
was
jet black hair and bright red lips. Make
She
it
was
worse.
she was one of the reasons like I watched Charmed. I was like, it's just like it was like a trifecta of just like hot witch chicks. I was like, all right, the show's kind of shit, but
I remember-
I'm in here for the aesthetic of it all.
Rose McGowan, for all you people that like to do a Google of the past, I just remember when she dated Marilyn Manson for a short period of time.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
they went to
remember
the MTV Music Awards,
Uh-huh.
and she wore that top that was literally just like a bug net. I mean, it was just.
She might as well have been wearing nothing.
She was
Yeah.
naked from the waist up. I remember being a kid watching her walk down the MTV Movie Award runways, just going, "Oh my fucking god, that's Rose McGowan's tits." Like, there they are. There they are. I mean, my mother just being like, "Turn this off, turn that fuck off." Like, I was
So
like,
who's
well,
into goth chicks?
Yeah,
I mean, if I wasn't at that point, I was.
You
afterwards.
are now.
Yeah, I am
You
now.
are now.
Thank you, Rose McGowan. I was like, holy shit. I was like, and she's dating that tall vampire freak, Marilyn Manson. I was like, here we go.
It's definitely a turning point. There's been a couple of movies that have made actresses roles like that, and like that probably was Rose McGowan's turning point for you. For me, it was the Transformers. We all know who we're talking about. Megan Fox. When she hit the scene, there were drones of people that didn't give a fuck about transforming
oh,
robots.
yeah.
Isn't she from like Stewart, Florida, or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Megan Fox did become the
And
hottest
what
woman
is
on
she
the
doing with,
planet
like,
right
Machine
For
Gun
a short
Kelly?
period of time, right after Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, really?
Well, she came back into the spotlight because of
Let me
that.
tell you
Like,
something.
I forgot all about her.
He's a rock star. He makes a lot of money.
But-
He pretends to be a rock.
Yeah.
But he's got the lifestyle. He's got the money.
I don't know
Women
how.
like money.
I don't
Women
know
like
how.
fucking money.
The Island Boys have money, and I don't
Yes.
fucking know
Yeah,
how
I
did this
don't
happen.
get that
I try
either.
to rag on them every chance I
Yeah,
get.
you know,
It's
you know what?
awful.
Especially with the dirt bike. The
There
dirt
are
bike
people
stuff,
that I
like-
follow like online, and like I had to stop following them because I'm like, why are people so interested in this guy's music and his? I'm like, this is a fucking shit show. And then I'm finding myself watching it every day. I'm like, I'm the asshole. I delete, gotta
Like,
go.
The chick that said "Catch Me Outside," Daniel
Yeah.
Bergoli. I just
Yep.
saw an article today. She's selling her Boca mansion for $8 million. I'm like, how in the fuck
Yeah.
did
Yep.
she get $8 million to buy a mansion?
Because
in the
she
first place?
capitalized.
OnlyFans.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
She capitalized off of
That's
that.
why Epstein Island is so popular.
I'm starting an
Yeah.
OnlyFans. Fuck
You
it.
gotta pretend to be young.
and
look
good
young,
looking.
dude. 42 years old, man. I look like I'm like 19.
Jesus God.
Get
I'm
at
gonna
me.
start an OnFans too.
I'm gonna start
Pretend to
taking
be
pictures
17.
of my feet.
Say, fuck yeah. Look at my
Start
17-year-old
squashing
asshole.
grapes and shit. Forget it.
I don't get how these people have all this fucking money, and it's like
It's just
they're not
wild.
putting out good material.
No.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
No, trash.
Rich as fuck. How?
Fucking trash. But look, think about
How?
it too. Like
Yep.
the Kardashians got rich off of what exactly?
The
Zero
Kardashians.
talent. Zero
We all know how
fucking
Kim.
talent.
We all know how Kim Kardashian
I mean,
got.
Plastic
right.
surgery
One
and a-
little
and a
whoop
sex tape.
moment, and then
Yep.
they capitalized
Started
off
with
it.
Ray J's dick, then it was Reggie Bush's dick. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah,
gonna be
what are
on
they
the
gonna do? Are they gonna come at me with that? Oh, she's a great marketer for makeup.
Yeah,
Get the
right.
fuck out of here. No one knew who you were before you
She's a-
sucked that dick.
listen,
Yeah, that's right.
she's
She's
a
got some
great-
pictures of her when she was at Paris
no.
Hilton back in
Right.
the day.
She's a great
That's
marketer
another
for
one.
plastic surgery.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
That's
And
like
the
Make-A-Wish
whole
Foundation.
fucking family.
She's a great businesswoman, but that aside, that's not why you got famous. You
Yes.
are not
Yep.
female Warren Buffett. That's
that
not how
fat
you
ass.
fucking got famous.
But here is an example of somebody taking very little and making a fucking shit ton.
You're right. If I got famous off sucking a dick
Well,
on camera, then you're right. I would run with it.
I mean, the reality is,
You need to talk to somebody.
You all right?
Grant's like,
I'm here for you, bro.
Ian,
Pump
we
the
could be
brakes.
famous
Pump
together.
Pump the brakes, bro.
I'm just saying. You gotta run with it.
there's droves of people lining up to give them money for what the fuck reason I don't get.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
And
Because
then
if people weren't giving them money,
are
they would have disappeared
Or
after the
attention.
sex tape.
we are truly living in the age of clout, right? Whereas in the past, you needed actual talent, like
Yeah,
people
skill matters.
skill to get and achieve things.
Logan Paul and his brother. I mean, they, well, Jake at least. You know what? Actually, both.
You gotta give them credit, right?
Jake-
I mean, they
Jake-
are putting in the work.
Jake has done enough where I can say Jake is a legit boxer now.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
went the distance with Tommy Fury. He lost a decision, but it wasn't a big decision. It was
But
close.
here's
It
what
was a
they are,
close
though.
fight.
Here's what they are, though.
Solid
They're
businessmen.
skilled promoters.
They're
They are
solid
very
business.
skilled promoters.
Yeah.
So even if
And Logan
even
Paul is
if-
a hell of an athlete.
even if the product doesn't quite live up to what it is as what they're selling, they sell the shit out of it, and people come for it.
I decided to watch Logan Paul's wrestling match with Ricochet because I heard how good it was.
How was it?
It was good. They did a lot of crazy
Yeah,
shit.
supposedly he's pretty good.
Logan Paul is a hell of an athlete. He's
Yeah.
a hell of an athlete.
So you got to give him credit for that, and he's honing his skills, right?
Yeah.
He really is putting in the work.
I have
because
to respect the hustle.
getting better
I mean,
and better
I have
every
to.
time.
And he's got enough money that he doesn't need to be out there risking brain damage and all that other bullshit. He's got plenty. He's got enough money to retire and disappear, and
So
and
he's
fucking be
doing
gone.
what he loves to do.
Yep.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, and then found a way to make money off.
I
of it.
mean, Jake Paul, the word on the street is when he trains, he like goes to Puerto Rico, locks himself in the gym. He's not living it up. He trains his ass off. There's like world champions that have sparred him and said, Jake works.
Right.
Like he can, the dude's
Yeah.
actually doing what he has to do to win. And he's out there flatlining guys. Like
Yeah.
one punch knockout people. I mean,
Speaking of fights, what do you think of this up and coming fight with Francis Ngannou? Do you follow fights any? By any
I-
chance?
Not really.
Or not
Yeah.
really?
A little here and there.
well,
but not really.
Francis already is the most, in my opinion, the most successful MMA guy to cross over to boxing.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou, when they make that movie, is going to be a hell of a fucking movie. I mean, he grew up working in a salt mine in Cameroon.
No,
Yeah.
sand mine or salt mine? I thought it was.
Either-
I thought it was
either.
a sand,
A sand
mine.
mine-
Either
even
or,
worse.
they're both shitty.
Yeah. Either way, he's working in a mine, like Star Wars
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Like he grew up as poor. Like in America, you can't even imagine this poverty. Like
Right.
this motherfucker is working all day cracking rocks in a mine
For
in
like
the earth.
3 cents.
Decides when he sees a boxing match on television somehow
Mm-hmm.
he saw it. I want to do that. I want to be the champion.
And
of
he
the world.
walked.
Walks
He walked.
to fucking France. Look at Cameroon on the map.
Legitimately.
Look at what you have to get through
He
to get
did.
to France.
He did what Forrest Gump did. He just got up and just fucking walked.
Yes, there's lions in the way. There's the Middle East, all those war-torn countries.
Yeah.
He fucking walked through them.
Yeah.
He ends up in France, walks into a gym, says, "Can you train? Can't speak French. Can you teach me to box?" And the guy watched him hit the bag and move, and he was like, "This guy's a fucking monster." He's like, "How about
Where'd
how
you
about-
come from?
How about
I walk past lions.
He says, "How
That's the
about
kind of man you want in your gym. Like, I will
he's a
train
killer?
you.
He's a killer." Giant African dude with dreads, and he's like, "All right,
I
how about you
outran
try
a water
MMA?"
buffalo.
He kills everybody.
Uh-huh.
Goes the whole way to ends up winning the UFC heavyweight championship. Once a better contract, he sees all the negatives and the positives, and he goes, "Well, I can petition for more."
Right.
And when he quit the UFC at the height, when he was the champ, everyone thought even Dana White was like, "Oh, he's going to make the biggest mistake ever." He crossed over into boxing.
Yep.
Gets a boxing match with the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, who, if you follow boxing, they're saying he's the greatest heavyweight of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That unanimously people
And the
say that.
majority of the people are like, I don't think Tyson won.
I watched the fight. I don't think Tyson won. He
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
knocked Fury down and went the distance, and it's supposed to be an exhibition. I think he beat the heavyweight champion of the world. You have to understand how crazy that is.
Right.
He crossed over from MMA into boxing and beat a man known for his speed and elusiveness.
Yep.
A
Yeah.
giant 6'10" monster of a man. And now he's fighting Anthony Joshua, and I honestly think Anthony Joshua may be the underdog here.
Yeah.
He might be. Francis Ngannou is a huge success story. He's done MMA more justice than
You
anyone
gotta
else.
admire the
Like-
conviction that he had from, like, I don't want to be here, and I'm gonna make something with my life, and
Work
then
my ass off.
every step of the way, fought through every single hardship to get to where he's at.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few people that can fucking say that I had absolutely nothing, walked to another fucking country,
Yeah.
and then chased down his dreams successfully.
I mean,
right?
And who's cornering him? Mike Tyson.
I mean, he
Fucking
literally
nuts.
walked what 2/3 of a continent
Yeah.
to get to somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's a Joe Rogan interview that if you haven't, like, you should listen to it. Like, just to hear his life story, even if you don't follow boxing or fighting, like, the way he describes what he went through to get to where he was, it's nothing short of amazing. Like, and also, like, shows his sheer willpower.
Yeah. You can't
get
stop.
there.
You can't stop that guy. You can't stop him. Like he's.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I'd love to see him win and get that rematch, and then maybe become boxing world champion, because then he would have been the UFC heavyweight champion and then a boxing heavyweight champion.
That's never been done.
Against what is arguably one of the greatest heavyweight boxers ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is up there, and I think when he's done, he retires. They'll put his name up there with the greats like Ali, Lewis. Like he's that good,
and
He is.
deservedly so.
He is that good, and it just there's a lot of big fights in boxing coming up. The next one being supposed to be Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk to unify all the belts. We'll see if it actually happens.
That would be sick, because then he has the opportunity to fight for the unified belt.
An opportunity to steal them all in one fight.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if.
Would you retire after that? Like, would you have said, like, I have achieved everything I set out
fuck
to
you, I'm
achieve?
done. I'm sorry, that's what that is. That's fuck you, I'm done. I got my money. I got the belts.
the legacy
Yeah.
done.
I'm done. Goodbye.
Everybody
Give it to
hangs
somebody
on.
else now.
Everybody
Now it's
hangs
somebody
on.
else's turn at that point.
It's so hard
Yeah.
for these
Yeah.
people to walk
Yeah,
away.
yeah. At that point, it's like you've achieved everything you needed to, improved everything that you needed to.
Like, you broke generational chains for people that aren't even your family. At that
Yeah.
point.
At most, maybe you
fucking
give
wild.
Tyson a rematch and you go for a 3.
I mean,
Because that third fight, that's fucking all money.
Well, I mean, even the next fight he goes into after, by decision, most people are saying he won that fight. He gets that rematch,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be big bank, because everybody who may have missed out the first time is gonna see it the second time. They're gonna want to see history. Like, you remember, like, I can't remember now outside of this fight with Francis Ngannou. Like, when we were kids, when Tyson's name
Yeah.
was like Tyson's fighting, you wanted to see it.
Always.
He was a fucking monster. You knew somebody was gonna get clobbered.
Or the ear was going to be chewed off.
Yeah.
That was the best.
That's when
That
it
was
started
what
getting
I
a little
said.
sadder, but still good. But Tyson,
He was a cultural phenomenon.
yeah, Tyson
He
was one of
transcended the
those
sport.
people that,
It was possible you were walking into a 10-second boxing match.
yeah,
You could walk in and the other guy could be fucking out cold like for a week.
yeah.
Inside of 10 seconds. And you're like, I paid for this?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I think pay-per-view actually started paying by the round at that point because people weren't buying it.
Yeah.
Oh, because of Tyson,
Yeah,
they
because
weren't
of
sure.
Tyson.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Interesting.
it's like back when Joe Louis was fighting, the newspapers used to call it the Bum of the Month Club, because they said the one. In fact, some comedian even famously said it at the time. He said, like, you go get the fucking popcorn, you go sit down. He's like, and the guy's out.
over.
The guy's unconscious. And you're like, I just got my goddamn popcorn. What do you mean he's unconscious? Like, and that's the way Joe Louis used to fight people. He just 1 or 2 rounds, he'd put him out.
That's
it.
crazy.
It's over. I mean,
You know, and speaking of fighters, I actually recently I seen the George Foreman story. I don't know if you guys seen that
Big
movie.
George Foreman. Yep.
You ever
No,
see
not
it?
yet.
It's really good. Big George Foreman. Like, he went through some hardships himself too.
Yeah.
So, like, what happened with him was, like, here's this guy that was on top of the world heavyweight champion. He hired a friend of his to be his money manager, and then his money manager spent everything.
What? I
all-
never heard of that before.
Lost all of
that
his
never happens. What?
Lost all of his money.
Careful who you trust.
And so he was forced to come out of retirement
Don King and
to fight again.
Dane Cook's brother took him for everything that he had.
Yeah.
Don
yeah.
King. Don
But
King,
I mean, Dane
Don
Cook.
King.
Fuck Dane Cook. He deserved it.
Dane Cook looks like a vampire now. You seen him?
No,
I
It's
haven't.
awful. Dane
Oh,
Cook looks
man.
fucking
I did
terrible.
get to see
I don't
him.
find him funny either. I don't get the hype. I don't think he's funny
I like his
at all.
comedy.
I think he's
I don't
shit.
think he's
Some
like.
of his older shit was good.
I think he's trash. Complete fucking ass.
I'm not putting
You know
him
what?
in my
He's the-
top
he's one
10,
you
but
hate.
I'm not changing
Fuck
the TV when
Dane
it comes
Cook.
on.
Man, I had the privilege of going to see Dave Chappelle right after Christmas.
Oh, how was that?
Here?
Yeah, over
I
at the
remember-
Hard Rock.
yeah.
My good friend Jorge, he took me out, and I appreciate him for it. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was great.
Did they do the whole take their cell phones thing?
Yeah, and the bags and everything. And
It
I
was
was like,
worth
it
it,
was
right?
so weird, but it was so worth it.
Yeah.
And like, he seems like a really good dude. Like, honestly, like,
But the show was fucking amazing.
oh, it was amazing. the people that the people that were ahead of him and everything, like Ashley Larry, he opened up for Dave and somebody else.
Ashley Larry.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Ashley Larry. He's fucking great. No, he was on the Dave Chappelle show. He was great.
I'm rich,
Ashley
bitch. Yeah, but I mean, like, he really has some really good stuff to say.
Yeah.
And he comes in and says it in a way that's kind of funny, and I like his old school mentality because like. People's feelings get hurt too easy this day and age.
Yeah, and that's exactly like here at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, we lean on like we're gonna say what we're gonna say unapologetically. We're having a good time. Nothing is being said with the intent to hurt anybody's feelings.
We don't say it with malice.
No, but if you get hurt, I also don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like we're here to have a good time, and if you can't understand that, then it's not for you.
I mean, the whole concept of words being violence and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. They can hurt you. They can offend you, but it's not violence.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting punched in the face, that's violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That physical altercation requires physical altercation back.
Yeah.
But words don't. It
Yeah.
requires words. Come with a better argument.
Yeah.
And
If your argument is you're not allowed to have an argument because your argument hurts my feelings, well, congratulations. You fucking lost.
Yeah.
You have
absolutely.
no argument. Your argument is you need to stop because it hurts my feelings. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You lost.
Yeah, it's not a good argument.
Sorry.
It
It's
won't
like,
work here.
It's
You're
like
not-
when they butchered Christmas, right? Like I was watching this TV show and like they're like, all right, this year's Christmas play was replaced with this thing, and it looked like a black gumdrop that ran on the stage. They're like, it's nothing, but it's also everything. They're like, we can no longer say Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. So this is our new holiday entity.
Yep.
I was like, fucking,
That's
that's
terrifying.
fucking great.
The holiday entity?
Holiday entity. The
I've been
kids in
throwing holy water at that shit. Ah!
the kids in the crowd, they're like, but what about Santa? They're like, Santa's steeply based in Christian beliefs. There is no Santa anymore. We have holiday entity.
holiday entity.
Just insult everybody all at once.
Oh yeah, it's fucking.
You
so
know what's crazy
stupid.
is a lot of these people that are holding these arguments, and they're like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. They're also the person that's not going to pull over and help somebody when they're down and out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I might make fun of you and trash on you while I'm changing your tire, but you know what? I'm gonna change your tire and I'm gonna care
Yeah.
about your best interest.
Yeah.
As much as that might seem like I'm mad or I'm not a good person, but I'll stop. I'm not gonna wave
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you," and
Yeah.
as I'm driving away.
Here's the holiday entity.
I'll get the
That
fuck
looks like
out of here.
that looks like a Hershey Kiss.
looks like
Someone's-
grimace.
Yeah, that's like a
What
butt
is
plug.
that?
That's a butt plug.
Eddie, please pull this up and put it on there for everyone to see. That's the fucking holiday.
That's the holiday butt plug.
It looks like those little gummy candies.
Dude, I'm plumb surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I'm willing to bet that entity was also in the Epstein.
I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't want to say it.
It was up Tom Hanks' ass.
And after Stephen Hawkins got to taste it.
That's right. After they pull it out of Tom, hey Steve, come here.
Hey, we got something for you.
How's this taste, Steve?
You know what's
No, please, no, not again.
What's
God
funny
damn
is
it.
No,
Robin
abort
Williams
nation.
in interviews years ago said that apparently Stephen Hawking likes him to go to the strip clubs. So,
Really?
Probably true. I mean,
but I mean, think about it.
That's
He-
the first good thing that Robin Williams did.
Yeah, you got a person with a disease who lasted like 30 years where everyone else dies in 5.
Yep.
He literally can't move anything other than his tongue.
Yeah.
So the only thing he can do to entertain himself is take me somewhere to see something.
Yeah.
Let me
I
ask
still
you
don't feel bad for
something.
him. Fuck that guy.
Really, let me
maybe
ask you
that's
something.
Go ahead,
maybe
go
that's
ahead.
the
Do you remember Chester from Lincoln Park
Yeah, Chester Bennington.
talking about the stuff that was happening at one
Oh, yeah.
point? And everybody thought he was crazy, and I even thought he was crazy. But I'm wondering if he's that crazy at this point.
I mean, the more shit that comes out, we wonder if all these people that are trying to
Here's
tell
the thing.
truth are
Going back to
crazy.
Rose McGowan, who got blacklisted. She got blacklisted for talking about, what's his name? Movie
Weinstein.
producer.
Weinstein.
Weinstein. Yeah.
Weinstein,
And it's
okay.
like, oh, yeah, no, it was all true. But you know what? No one fucking stood up with her.
Right.
And the few people the one or two that did, all got
Blacklisted.
blacklisted. Same thing with what's her
the
name
big
from
Jack
what's her name
Black
from
dude,
Hole?
what's his
She
name?
even
Oh,
Terry Crews.
Yeah, Terry Crews. Somebody grabbed his hang down.
Yeah, so,
his hang down. That's the name of the episode. Somebody grabbed his hang down.
what?
Thank you,
can get
Grant.
into schools
I
and-
love it. I love
I
it.
mean, for all the speculation on Kurt Cobain's death, I want to see where it correlates with when what's her name had mentioned something about when they invite you to the Hollywood hotels for the parties, if you're under 18, don't go.
Right.
Where she was calling out because I think they
you're gonna
even
be on
mentioned
the other end of
Weinstein
somebody's slip and slide.
in the question,
Yeah.
and she calls him out like, no, if you got
Right.
girls,
Protect them.
don't go.
Them. Right. Right.
Yeah, 'cause
And then all of a sudden it's like,
That's like Corey Feldman or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was ousted
Yep.
for a while too, but he's a fucking weirdo.
he's
Yeah.
a weird dude.
he is, but I mean, how many
But he
years
was right.
But he
was
grew up
right.
around Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He was getting hee-heed the whole time.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he
Hell,
was,
But I tell you what, for everything he says, Michael Jackson is the one person he's saying didn't do anything, and it was everyone else in Hollywood that was passing them around,
just
and
slept
which
in
is
his
why,
bed.
he could have easily been a patsy, right?
which is why the other Corey killed himself because of everything that happened. So yeah, he's weird.
Yeah.
But the other ramification of everybody else that went through what he went through killed themselves.
You know,
Well, I
who
mean,
else
Harvey
said good
Harvey
things about
Weinstein
him?
turned out to be a fucking monster.
Yeah, he
I mean,
turned
he turned
out
out
to
to
be
have
a
like a
piece of
he had,
shit.
he had a bed in an office next to his office.
He's-
What the fuck do you think that
He-
bed
he's
was
right
for?
up there with Cosby.
Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. But even the kid from Home Alone said that Michael Jackson was a good
Macaulay
guy.
Culkin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin, and he is one of the very few childhood actors who seems to have his shit together.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
back together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, everybody falls apart, but
Yeah.
he's a pretty stable guy for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to expect someone to grow up completely stable
Yeah.
when they're essentially world-known famous in single digits before they understand what that is. And then it's like, go out into the world now, and it's like, I can't.
Yeah, it was
I
hard for
can't-
me. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how I maintain such a stable psyche. You know, growing
Stable.
up. He said stable, like, how dare you?
I've been in a training room with you.
And that's the end of the episode. We do be having some fun in the training room. That's for damn sure, man.
Where's this training? Is this like?
I can't tell you about it. It's on
Yeah.
an island
I
somewhere.
was about to say. I was like, wow,
Fight
right
Club.
now.
Let's just say there's chalkboards, right?
Double height.
Double
chalkboard.
the
I mean, I
height.
guess it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, like
Once in a while,
the
I
guy
gotta
the
stand
guy
on
like
Nelson's shoulders.
how old were the midgets? Like how you know are they
That's the
18-year-old
whole thing.
midgets?
There's a lot of information that still needs to be revealed.
And what if we find out that's the fucking way to survive ALS? Like sexual
Midgets
deviance?
on-
Yeah,
midgets
deviance.
on
Yeah.
chalkboard?
DVDs, I
You
guess
gotta be
I'm
a
gonna
sick
die.
fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing you could link to is he had a very active imagination because that's what he was using for his calculations.
Yeah. Well,
As what was keeping him moving for at least mentally
I'm not gonna
for
say
what
it.
he was doing because everybody else
I'm gonna
dipped
say
out.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
5
I-
years it
I'm
usually
gonna say
kills
it.
people. It's
I-
very brutal disease.
I think they
Yeah.
could have used them on like the Rangers course and like as a moving target, and they just could have had him like
Yeah.
back and forth with his fucking wheelchair.
when they do when they do his autobiography or whatever, his movie,
Yeah.
it's like, remember the movie Powder when he was running and then all of a sudden lightning hit him? Well, his wheelchair is gonna have like a turbo. It's gonna be like Fast and the Furious 500, and then he's gonna go and just become energy.
yeah, fuck.
I don't know how you're that smart in the first fucking place. I mean, shit. Like you got to be into weird stuff if you're studying black hole quantum
Well,
physics.
that's just it. Like, if you can't use the rest of your
What?
body, you're kind of forced to use just the one organ. Imagine the male species if we only had to depend on the brain organ in our body and we didn't have this
If I was
other
trapped,
organ
if
controlling
I was
us.
trapped in a fucking curled up meat puppet, oh my god, that'd be the worst fucking cripple ever. I'd be like, put me in the room with a woman and an octopus. Ugh.
Tentacle
I was
sex,
trying to
baby.
like roll myself into a
Yeah, it's
pool,
like-
the deep end of a pool.
How old do you want to be? I don't fucking care. Put me in the room. I want some stimulation.
Give me a straw and a bottle of bleach.
Speaking of tentacle sex,
Oh no.
That's a sentence I haven't heard in a while.
it is in Rebel Moon, right? Did you get to
Oh,
that
yeah, I
part?
saw
Oh
that.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The evil Nazi leader
the leader
has like
guy.
a tentacle alien that's
Yeah.
all over him.
Oh,
It's like-
yeah.
yeah, it's latching.
I
onto
thought
him
that
and
was to
shit.
get him, like, to bring him back to life or something.
I don't know what that was
It was
for.
very it was very sexual in nature.
Yeah, that looked a lot less
honestly-
about bringing him back to life.
It looked
I
like
don't know how you
I-
get
you know
brought
what
to life
happened?
in your
No,
stories.
you know what happened
But I
was-
don't have tentacles in my
I
asshole.
kind of like, I get on the phone and I start doing these meme things where I start rapidly firing them off to my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And like I saw it from the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh, so it's like tubes, like, sort of like.
No,
Yeah.
he
You
starts with
like-
the tube. He starts with the feeding tube kind of looking thing, and then all
I
those
thought it was
little
like
other
Boba
marks
Fett
are
or
from
something,
the
you know?
suction cups of
Yeah.
his little
One of those
friend.
suction cups was up his ass. I
Yeah,
guarantee you.
it's disgusting. Go
You
back
couldn't-
into like 18 minutes and 53 seconds of the movie.
Wait for the director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, the director's cut.
Oh,
Director's cut's
boy.
gonna show where that
Yeah.
tentacle goes.
It's pretty nasty.
mean,
Yeah,
it's whatever.
they're gonna put out a rated R version, is what they're saying. Fucking Zack Snyder, man. He's
But
always making it,
It's one of those like, well, you just could have done that from the start.
especially on
and-
Netflix.
It might have been better.
You know, you could also not do every scene with slow motion.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Especially
possible.
after I said something.
It's
Especially
possible
after I
to
said
not have
something.
every scene with slow motion.
You really don't need to show a graduation in slow motion.
Ever.
I mean,
I didn't go
they're
to my
hugging.
graduation.
They're hugging and like talking about like the background of their military
story
school life, and I'm
character.
like, why is this in slow mo?
Yeah.
Why is this in like 300 like battle time?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
It's very odd.
It's like,
choices
why
for
is this in here,
some
period? I
things.
didn't need to see that part of the movie
I mean,
at all,
if
yeah.
anything, you can say Netflix really just gave him creative control.
They
Yeah.
did.
They said,
did.
here's
And
a
they
couple
said for
$100 million.
better or worse.
Have fun, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he Disneyed it.
He definitely
I
did.
got some
Disneyed
more
it
to
up.
go with it. I think I got maybe 30 minutes left of it. I got pretty far
Or you
into
could
it
do
at this
anything
point.
else with your life.
I've already committed this far.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
he wants to see it through. He
I'm
wants to
gonna,
see it
I'm gonna
through.
see the last
Listen,
30
I don't know
minutes,
how it
and
ends. I don't know how it ends. And I never will.
I'm
Never will
hoping
see
the
it.
fight scenes at the
I
end are
watched it
worth
and didn't
the.
watch it. That's even worse. That happens quite a bit though.
So Grant,
Yeah.
you're a motorcycle enthusiast. You just bought a new bike.
I just
did
bought
you not?
another one, and I'm going through it, changing like the things that need to change to.
So what
fit
kind of
me.
bike did you buy?
I bought a Aprilia RS 660. It's a twin. And I'm gonna probably buy its little brother for the track.
So like, is this for general street?
There's a lot. This
Driving-
is for general street, and I'm gonna probably take it to the track. But there's other things that are involved in it. I'm gonna go up to North Carolina to go visit someone that looked out after me for years, and he's starting to lose his eyesight and stuff. And people might think it's like a midlife crisis, but
Yeah.
it's really not. This
You want to
is-
go for that ride?
Yeah,
Wa-
'cause
wasn't
I'll
there a
never
movie
get
like
it back.
this?
I
Wasn't
don't
there-
know, but you can make one if you want.
No, there was. It was like with Tim Allen and all of them.
Oh, Wild
Wild
Hogs.
Wild Hogs. This is
No,
Wild
this
Hogs,
is a
bro.
little different.
Fucking Wild
Wild
Hogs.
Hogs. This is Wild Hogs.
Yeah, this is a little
I know,
different
bro.
than
I
that.
know,
But
I
yeah,
know.
so
But
monster.
that's very nice of you.
Don't
I'm kinda-
backtrack, you fucking monster.
I can always get the money back. It's not about that. I can even lose a couple dollars and be okay with it.
Listen, it's about the experience and
But-
about doing something nice
Yeah,
with a
so I'm
friend
gonna
of
get
yours.
the hell out of my house and I'm gonna go up. He's
fucking
more of
dope.
he's a father figure. He's that's how I know how to cook
That's
for
fucking
Neil.
dope, man.
Where are you
What's
taking the ride to?
North Carolina, Wilmington.
Okay.
Nice.
Once
It's
you guys.
February.
Oh, so you're leaving here and going up with him.
I'm going up to him. He moved away
Oh,
a
shit.
couple of years ago.
So then,
Are
what's
He's
you
a
gu-
father figure.
Are you
So
guys
what's
going to
the,
take a long trip like once
yeah.
you get to Wilmington?
I don't know what's gonna happen. It's
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it to him. But
Okay.
I got rid of a bunch of my old equipment to people that I felt needed it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know if I wanted something again. And at one point I got rid of it because I felt like there was other people I had to be there for.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
things change in your life, and I'm like, well, fuck it. Now I just got to be here for me. And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
man.
out.
We're with that. We're with
Look
that.
out for numero uno.
But
Yeah.
that would be cool. Like if you made your track out there, and then you guys did some pretty cool road adventure where you're
Well,
doing some stops,
he raced.
maybe
He
seeing
raced.
some things.
He raced, and he was actually, you can go back and look at his track times and everything. He raced competitively.
That's pretty sick.
So yeah, that's
pretty dope.
He actually got offered. He got offered sponsorship by Honda.
Uh-huh.
Turned it down because he was in a fight for his kid
Right.
that she was taken away from him by his girlfriend, and at that point he said no. They even offered for him just to coach, but he kind of got rid of it at that point.
Sure.
Kind of took me under his wing, like I'm basically his kid. So
That's dope, man. That's a
yeah,
really
so
nice
that's where
story.
that's coming from. But I'm sure people are gonna make up all kinds of stories. I'm okay with it though.
Yeah, man. You listen. Here's the thing. People are always gonna talk, good or bad. You gotta say fuck them and do what you do.
Yeah, they can die from
That's
crotch
just.
rot.
That's just. Yeah, man. That's just
Hey,
how.
cross rot's rough, man.
That's just how I live my life. And once I got to a certain point, like when you're younger and you watch old people, right? And you're like in the supermarket and you're like, this old man is hitting everybody with his shopping cart, right?
How much
No, no.
time? How much time you
Crop
spend?
dust.
Hold on a
Hold
second.
on
Hold on a second. Right, right. Like you're shopping at it was Key Foods with us, right? And I'm watching this like 90-year-old guy. He's just like fucking smacking into people with his
Foods?
shopping cart.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
What is
Key
it?
Food.
Fucking Key Foods.
What is
That's a
that?
Key Food is kind of like a pathway.
It was essentially just a grocery store. This
a
is
big-
all the way back in New York.
Big,
Oh,
big
okay.
supermarket, right? And
where
this
the fuck are you
guy
shopping?
is enjoying his life. I've never seen so much joy. He's not only hitting people with his shopping carts, but he's taking things out of other people's shopping carts that aren't paying attention, and that's what he's filling his shopping cart with. Like I'm watching him. I'm walking with my mother. I'm like, this guy's having a fucking great time doing nothing.
He's just a
And-
super troll.
yeah, he's just an asshole. Yeah, he was a troll before trolls were cool. And I'm like, what does it take, like, when I got a little older to get to that point in life? Because that is pure bliss. When you can reach a point in,
I'd be
in your
taking
life
shit out of his cart,
when you
too.
don't give a fuck. And
I would
you're
let
just
him
doing
take
you.
whatever he wanted out of my cart, but I would just reach in and randomly take
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I'm like, alchemy, motherfucker,
Yeah,
equivalent exchange.
So
I don't even know what this is. I don't give a shit.
So I had a great uncle. We'd run into him all the time because when you're a kid, you would go food shopping on like Fridays. And
Yeah,
your parents
yeah,
got paid or whatever. But I'd run into my great uncle, and he'd be walking through the store eating fucking fruit and vegetables and shit, and so-called trying them out.
Yeah, of
Meanwhile,
course.
he's like, you walk past, he's like, hey. Don't get the cantaloupe, it sucks. And he puts it back half eaten. You're just like, what? You're like, what the fuck? Who raised you? You're my grandmother's brother. You know damn well you weren't raised like that.
Yeah.
No, this motherfucker, he didn't care.
Don't get the cantaloupe.
Yeah.
It sucks.
The grapes are horrible.
I think there's truly success in that when you can, like, surround yourself, one, with people who are like-minded, and two, like, reach a point in your life where you're like, hey, you know, I'm going to live for me. I'm going to do the things that I like. And fuck the vocal people around you. Like, even like now, like, I'm 43. I go to the studio and I make music, right? I do it for me. I enjoy it. It's a hobby. I love the people.
I thought it was the free drugs.
Yeah, that too. I go to hang out with people that I like being around. We make music. We get to be creative. And it's just a fucking fun time. And do I care if, like, people are like, well, you're 40 and you're making music. Isn't it for young people? Yeah. But I don't give a fuck. I like doing it. So
Is music for young people?
the
fuck says that?
people say that.
Give me
People
their
are
names.
like, that should be the
Give me
young,
their
young.
names.
Or like, I go to
What age do you get where you stop enjoying music?
right.
Good music.
That's like Legos.
And then, Legos. Yeah, listen, I collect
Exactly.
toys. I'm a grown man with more toys than most kids that I know. I don't give a fuck. I enjoy that shit.
Bro, I have 17
I enjoy that
surfboards.
shit.
I will never
what I'm
stop
saying.
watching anime.
Yes.
I will be 70
Yes.
years old, and I will be telling people about the new anime that comes
Yes,
out in winter.
Eddie wears weird fucking hats.
And I love him for it.
Yeah, we
okay
love
with
him
that. My
for these
brother wears
fucking
those
hats.
hats, too. And he
To
has
be
a
fair,
handlebar
though, that
mustache.
is an older thing to do.
It is.
That's
That
a nice.
is,
That's
actually,
a style that needs to come back.
Yeah,
We
it
make fun
is,
of my
it is.
brother, though. We
I
call
do
him
like the hat.
Raul.
I do.
Like Mario, like the Mario Brothers' third gay brother.
Raul.
Mario Luigi.
But you know what? People are gonna do what they like to do, and it's just one of
That's
those
it.
things. But you know,
That's
I'm
it.
kind of at this age where it's like I kind of like want to pay back the people that took care of me because I could have been in a bad spot.
You know what? That's a really nice and admirable
Bro, me too.
admirable thing to do.
Me
you
too.
know, because a lot of people don't do that. Like, there's a lot of people that don't even take the time out to care for the people that are in their lives.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the elders.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's lost in this generation of me.
Yay for me and fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why, like, look, we all got a tight circle. Me, Eddie, and Ian. Ian is like a brother to us.
It's weird because I look nothing like them.
But, like, we all have just had a bond over the years, and we always fucking look out for each other. If I'm having a bad day, he's having a bad day. We send each other some stupid shit like, hey, dickhead, what are you doing? Here's a meme, man. And I mean, that makes me smile, right? And we always looking out for each other. So when you
It's
have
also
good
that
people-
camaraderie where, like, even though you're going through some rough shit, like, sometimes just hanging out with people you know genuinely care about you,
Yeah.
even if they're fucking with you,
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Nelson burns.
Hey, whoa, hey.
and, you know, twisting the knife a little bit, it makes you feel better. It does make you feel better. It does, in a strange way. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So we decided we were gonna do a GoFundMe for Ian's
Thank you.
new dog moving.
Oh,
into
yes,
his
We're not
Ian is
getting
getting
a
a dog. So
The place I am moving has pet fees.
Yes.
Guys, why do you want to fuck
an
me like that?
Australian
So,
Shepherd he's getting.
I'm sure it'll be adorable, but I am not paying
in
for
the
it.
comments, we
You're
would
not.
like
It's
you guys
GoFundMe.
to tell us what kind of dog Ian would best fit with in his new place.
Sharpay.
No. One-bedroom apartment. No.
I was thinking German Shepherd, right?
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
Are they
No,
big
no,
enough?
no.
Malamutes are
Great Dane.
And a
Great
Akita.
Dane.
Oh.
Great Dane.
And-
Oh, why don't you just talk to Margot? She raises grizzly bears. Like,
Well, you know what? It could be
That's how
Margot.
we just get a
It could just be
grizzly bear.
Margot. You can have a Margot in your house.
I don't have the room for a
Like,
Margot.
you know what? She does shed a lot. She
She
does
does
shed.
shed. She needs a box to shit in. Like, I could not raise a Margot. I don't have the capacity to raise a Margot, you know? She'd be chewing on my sofa legs. Like, I fucking can't do
You
that.
know,
No,
we
but you
need
know
to
what?
have her back.
We
need
do.
to have her
We
back.
do.
Yes.
Margot is
You
No,
gotta
on-
meet Margot.
On
You,
the
you
real,
would like
though,
her.
on the real, it's nice to see people smile, couples that smile, because your wife is gonna be very happy moving
Oh,
into.
Oh
God,
yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Especially with that goddamn dog.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
She had input on this. That's where the Australian
Oh,
Shepherd
yeah? She and the dog can find another place to sleep.
No, you know damn well that's not happening.
Yeah,
You see me
I printed
smile.
out like 50 different pictures of dogs that you may be or may
May
not
or
be
may
seeing
not.
around the house.
I don't want a dog. What the?
It might be two because you just can't get one.
Yeah, you don't want the
friend.
dog being lonely.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
needs a
Fuck.
companion.
He's gonna go in the bathroom to take a shit and open up the Playboy and be like, "Why is there a Malamute in here?
Dude,
Is this a Jessica Alba?"
Why am I reading? I'm actually amazed you think I'm classy enough to read Playboy.
so check this out.
No, it's all midgets writing equations
I
on
was about to say,
chalkboards.
it's right next to my subscription of Epstein Monthly.
So, dude, Friday I come in from work and I think I'm gonna wash my dogs. I got 3 of them.
Right.
I'm a single male and I have 3 dogs, and I
Right.
got to start doing everything. Which
Right.
it's not that I didn't do it before, but you know, the funny thing is, bazinga. Anyway, I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, well, fuck it, I gotta get this done. It's like I
Yeah,
get
of
to
course.
just get it done. So I walk in and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And all of a sudden I'm like, I look around and there's shit streaks everywhere, and I'm like, no fucking way. So I got 2 Roombas. And I'm telling you, I think this whole robot thing we should just fucking do away with it, because they're gonna get us. They're gonna fuck us
After
up.
the Roomba incident of
So-
2024.
So the little
Yeah.
the little dog's name is Yoshi. She's a Shiba Inu. She's shit in the house. She's sick.
Yeah.
The one Roomba got a hold of it. The second Roomba got a hold of the second part of it. Bro, went fucking ham throughout the house.
Picasso.
Picasso.
Fuck.
No. What's his
Rembrandt.
name?
I
It's
don't
the
know.
other guy that fucking throws shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, so I got shit on the fucking baseboards, across the fucking rugs, dude, underneath the china cabinet, everywhere you can think of.
Oh my God.
Not only that, but I got
Anything more than like 3 inches tall
no,
is gonna
it
have shit.
sprayed those little fucking
Oh,
You get a shit stain. You get a shit stain. You get a shit stain.
The little S feelers.
Dude,
And I'm slinging shit.
and I got someplace to be at 6:30, and I'm like,
just at that point, light a match
I thought about it.
and
You gotta
just like
burn it.
walk out like the epic movie, like as
I
shit's
thought
blowing up
about
behind
it,
you.
but you know what? Like, so
No, you gotta clean it.
I got everything done, but the worst thing is, like, I threw the Roombas upside down in the fucking bathtub, and I'm like, I walk in there, the last thing I did was look at those, and I'm like, rubber gloves, and they're fucking packed, and now I gotta go on YouTube finding out, because I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Roomba. Fuck you.
They don't have a
anyway-
shit sensor?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have a shit
Probably the
sensor.
new ones do. They're
Yeah,
like,
they
you
probably
should
do,
have
yeah.
spent the extra $250, cocksucker.
Oh,
The
yeah.
shit sensor.
Yo, people in Costco like, is this the one with the shit,
Shit
sensor?
sensor.
Because I need the shit sensor.
Yeah.
You don't
I
even want to
heard-
know my shit story, okay?
I watch Sofa Kingdom podcast, and I know I need the shit
I
sensor.
need the shit sensor. If you don't have the shit sensor, I'm going
Guess what?
somewhere else.
There's an uptick in actual housekeeping that's going to happen from this podcast. All of a sudden, Consuela is going to be.
Right. If you own a small dog and you own a Roomba, you need a shit.
Yo, hold
Dude,
on a
but
second.
this
Why
little
is it called
small
Consuela, bro? Why can't it be Ingrid?
Call it whatever you
It could
want.
be Ingrid,
Just
right?
don't call
Nah,
me late for
man.
supper.
It's Consuela.
Ingrid's too expensive.
That's all it is.
So, but
Fuck.
But this little
You're
dog,
right.
dude, this little dog's shits are about 1.5 feet long. It's
Oh,
not like
man.
your
The
little
dog
like,
shits the length of his body.
yeah, it's not like these little mini pinchers, but yeah.
So back to Ian. What kind of dog you want?
Yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu, that's it. Shiba Inu
I want
it
a dog that doesn't shit. How about that?
is. And I will gladly buy you a Roomba.
With the shit sensor?
Lowest smile that we could
birthday,
find.
getting a
We'll
Roomba.
get you 4 of them. It's like battle shit bots.
I don't got shit sensor kind of money. I'm gonna get
No,
you
it's gonna be
the
the low-
non-shit sensor
It's gonna be
version.
the knockoff Roomba. It's gonna be
The
Fuba.
Wish.com. Yeah, the Wish.com Roomba. It's just gonna say rum.
No, thanks.
Run for your money.
I-
It's a
there's,
stick up.
there's gonna be enough shit all over my
Yeah,
house
I'm
without the dog.
gonna come to Ian's house and just with like little Hershey kisses, like, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Have a good time, dog.
Yeah, right. You'll probably just bake a steamy one right in the middle of my fucking kitchen.
And blame it on the dog.
And then, yeah, and then before Nelson leaves, he'll start the Roomba. Like,
He's like the full Nelson in Ian's house.
Yep.
But Busta Grumpy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Bust
But
the
if
grumpy
you
and
ever
start
need
the Roomba.
somebody to watch your dogs while you're away. I got you.
I
bro.
don't have dogs. Thank you. I won't need it though. I don't need it.
That's the name of the episode. Ian gets a dog.
No, it's not. It's not the name of the
What was it
episode.
before that?
I'm not getting a dog.
I don't even remember, but it's Ian gets a dog.
I will contact the first Chinese restaurant
Did you do like the
immediately.
reading rainbow? Now you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Just
Exactly.
Ian gets a dog.
No, he doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No.
Ian calls China walk. That's what Ian's gonna fucking do. You buy the dog, my hands are tied.
Oyster
It's
sauce.
like it'll be like
Scallions.
Chinatown. You walk by Ian's window and it's gonna be like just little ducks hanging there. You know what I mean? Like, to ward off the
Buy
dogs.
me a dog. I'm calling the local China hut. I'm calling them up. I give you a good price.
Hold on.
Never mind.
What kind of fucking accent was that? Because that wasn't Chinese.
Hong Kong.
That wasn't even in the Asian realm.
How do
over
you know?
here.
I give you a good price for dog.
That's bad. Oh, that's bad.
How do you have him bite? How do you have him bite?
That's right.
That's borderline Scottish.
I give you a good
Yeah,
price
do you
for the
remember,
dog.
you remember the Skittles commercial with the Scottish like Asian person?
Yeah.
Remember that Skittles, the berries and cream one that had like the creepy fucking like European? He was like the medieval page.
Yeah.
And he was singing that song, Berries and Cream.
Do you remember?
That
what
was terrifying.
Quiznos.
It actually was like berries and cream. And he jumped
Oh
around.
my God!
That
Yes,
fucking guy was,
yes.
He was horrifying.
Berries.
Someone popped that up. Like they sent me that. They go, do you remember this commercial? Randomly, a couple days ago, someone sent this to me on Instagram. They're like, do you remember this shit? This was terrifying. And I watched it. It is.
Dude,
And
there's
the
a
guy's
lot-
like jumping around, and he's like berries and cream. And he's like, his fucking face, dude. I'm like, oh, dude.
Dude, there
fuck
was
that.
a lot of weird shit back in the 80s, early 90s that were terrifying.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
you look
We
back
just
and
put
you're
it on
like,
TV.
what type of shit were they on?
The Quiznos subs commercial.
The Quiznos
Yeah.
sub commercial.
Lots
It was like
of
It
cocaine.
was a monster.
It was this
Lots
fuzzy little
and
weird.
lots of cocaine.
Yeah, lots of cocaine.
Yeah.
Lots
Great.
of, lots of
Shoot
drugs.
your brains out.
Exactly.
In Ian's house.
Dude, if you
Okay, so now picture this.
that Quiznos friendship, you shoot your guts
I
out.
have it's like a sleep apnea thing. So there were times in my childhood, I haven't had it in a long time, where
Sleep paralysis.
sleep
Yeah.
paralysis, that's it, it's not
shit.
sleep apnea, where my
Where something felt
eyes
like
would
it
be
was yanking
open,
on your ankle?
my brain would not register to tell the rest of my body I'm awake to get up. So like you can't move. And so it was a Count Chocula
And
commercial.
you're still dreaming.
You're still, you're like mid, like, am I awake? Am I not awake? And you're like, I can't move. And there was this Count Chocula commercial. They fucking traumatized me because I'm watching this and I'm just like, I can't fucking move. So I equated every time Count Chocula came on the fucking screen to this event that I had at like 9 years old where I couldn't fucking move. Like I'm telling my brain, I'm like, move your legs. And like it took like
Run!
30
Run!
seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, it took like 30 seconds, but it felt like forever. So fuck you, Count Chocula.
Yeah, I got a story for you about that sleep apnea
Were you
thing.
raped by Count Chocula?
I don't want to talk about it.
So I had the same.
Frankenberry.
I had that
While the Skittles
same
commercial's
issue.
playing in the background. There's a cream.
That's Count Chocula's flipping you over. No.
At least get some milk.
One of my ex-girlfriends, I'm out cold having a dream that something's chasing me, right? And I'm half awake, half asleep, and I'm like trying to get away from this thing, and it's catching me. Well, I finally get up, but in the dream, I'm leaping like a 4-foot wall.
Right.
Dude, my hand was on her chest. I fucking basically pressed off of her, threw my legs over, and ran up. And I was like, she was like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, and I came too, but it's fucking weird. And then
yeah.
another one, we were watching like The Fifth Kind or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like half asleep, and this fucking bitch, she's watching me twitch while I'm like in this sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And you hear this, "Ee," and I'm in my house staring at this wall, and there's a fucking alien there, and I'm just like, and the chick's just standing there watching over me, just like probably giggling. She's sitting
Right,
there,
like,
she's
oh, what's going
and I'm
on?
like, please just wake me up, save me. I'm like, and I'm like, sure as shit, man. Like that
There
stuff
was
is no
And
joke.
that is a thing that's consistent with everyone that suffers from sleep paralysis is seeing something in the corner
Yes.
watching you.
Yes.
So if it isn't creepy enough, you're like, oh, I'm awake and I can't move. What's the thing in the fucking corner? And everyone
Yes.
that has it reports it.
Bro,
Because
there's
your
whole-
brain is still asleep.
There's,
So it's
there's
like,
medieval stories about that.
oh yeah.
Medieval
yeah.
stories
Or-
about
or
like,
like
the
where you feel
demons
like
that
you're
come
getting
and
yanked.
Yeah, back
Off the
in the
bed.
day, they would crack your head open and be like, "Let's get this demon out of here." You got a demon, bro. This is the only way to fix it. But you're gonna be dead.
That's like when they claim these women were witches and they're burning them at the
Oh,
cross.
the
Meanwhile,
Oh, dude.
They're
word's
all
about
tripping.
to get out about Epstein's
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah. Oh, but
Dude.
no, they come to find out that they were all fucking tripping on
Ergot.
Yeah,
Ergot. Okay, I remember
Ergot
that.
poisoning in the wheat,
From-
so improper storage of it had an early frost, and it made a bunch of it go bad. So as they're getting down through it, everyone in the town is starting to get poisoned. So everyone is just hallucinating as they're going about their normal business, and then eventually people just start pointing fingers.
Yep. And that's the story of Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that.
Thank
bath
you for
salt.
joining us on the Sofa Kingdom podcast.
Salem, Florida. All right.
Bath salt.
It's
Eating
Salem,
faces.
Florida. Yeah, you know, it's a little mix.
Yeah. We rewrite history here at Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
We just make shit up as we go.
Yeah. Like I said before, none of my arguments are based off facts.
But you still make the arguments. so
That's
good.
goddamn
good.
right. That's
As long as you
goddamn
don't say it
right.
hurts your feelings.
Yeah, I just like to argue.
We're good.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's fair.
I grew up in Brooklyn. We argued for the fuck of it.
You just roasted people for this shit just because.
Oh yeah, like legitimately, if you got on a city bus in New York, prepare to be roasted.
Yeah.
It's roast or be roasted.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But it was a good time.
Jesus.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Eddie, you gotta play like a little banjo in there.
I'm sure I can find that.
Deliberate
Some summer
banjo.
teeth.
Yeah, I'll
Some
come
of here,
back
some
now.
of there.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find it.